said what happened. That morning I saw a meme of someone took a picture, so you can like rent bikes in New York City that have like
Yep.
baskets on the front of them, you know?
City bikes.
And someone did a really good Photoshop job of a silenced pistol in the basket. And it said, "Oh, I don't know why I don't know why my bike came with a gun this morning." And
Hmm.
I just hadn't I didn't know what the news was because I hadn't like gotten that deep into social media yet. So I was like, and like everyone was like interacting with it, and it was like, I don't understand this like new meme that the
I
kids have
can't
come up with.
understand.
Yeah. Oh man, guys, I'm gonna send you my neighbor's address. You guys all write him a letter about how he should. I don't know
So
why
we can,
he
so we can shoot him.
what? No, don't do that. He's actually a pretty cool guy, but he always puts his dog out right as I'm starting a stream. Like it never fails. It's like within seconds of me coming down
Well,
here.
that's when you go live.
He's just listening to the stream and he's like, oh, okay, he's on. Time to let the dog out.
Right.
It's just fucking crazy. And the thing is, like, this dog will sit out there and bark the entire fucking time.
I like the second that you said that, I can no longer hear a dog barking. It's like the dog was like, no, I'm not going to listen to you.
He's like,
I've never heard this imaginary dog bark, so I don't know. No, I've heard it.
I was like, there's no way you haven't heard it. He's a really sweet dog. Like he's this beautiful, really big German Shepherd.
Aw.
And
Yeah.
he's really sweet, and he's best friends with my dogs. Like my dogs fucking love this dog, and they play, and it's really cute.
That's cool. I mean, I'll be honest. I always assumed it was your dogs.
No, my dogs don't bark like that.
Gotcha.
I mean, they would if you were like trying to get into my house, or like if you were to walk up to me too quickly, my one dog would probably stop you from like he would get in front of you and stop you from moving, but he wouldn't bark at you. Like they do barks to alert us that like there's like a cat in our yard, or like there's a person in our yard or something. They don't just like randomly bark at nothing for an entire hour.
No, I gotcha.
We're live, by the way.
Oh shoot!
Alrighty.
Yeah, so
Well,
no one say anything off color or anything. Also, for some reason, my keyboard has this like 1 second latency, and I don't understand why.
Purple. There we go. That's off color.
That's my favorite color.
Oh,
It's the best color.
Well, speaking of live, what things do you have going on in your life this week, Daniel?
Hold on, I'm waiting for my keyboard to catch up with what I'm trying to post. Well, so first of all, we're on Blue Sky. I'm trying to post on Blue Sky, but it's like I press one button on my keyboard and it takes like a second, and then the letter appears, and it's really throwing me off because I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but I type very fast because when I was in high school, I had this belief that if I learned to type very fast, that I would be a better saxophone player. Like it would improve my dexterity. And it had zero impact whatsoever on my saxophone playing. But I can type very fast.
no, you got to level up to get better dexterity.
Yeah, I think just playing the saxophone more gave me better saxophone dexterity, as one might expect.
I got it.
So yeah, we're
I
on
got that.
we're on Blue Sky, by the way. So if you're just joining us, go check us out on Blue Sky because I think we have like 38 followers. We're like starting from 0, and then we have an entirely different podcasting schedule because Lucasfilm hates us and decided to put a new show out on a different schedule than we were used to. So our live podcast live shows will be on Wednesday night at 6:30 actually, except for next week, because next week is Christmas, so we're not having one next week, but we're having one
already.
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. In fact, I'm already officially on break, and John's going to be on break here in a few days. And so this week we're watching Skeleton Crew episode
4.
Is it 4? Yeah.
Should be for you.
Yeah, on Tuesday night, and then we'll be doing a recap and discussion on Wednesday, and if we have time, we'll also be talking, because tonight will be a new episode of Dune Prophecy as well. So we'll probably talk about that a little bit too. So join us for that, and then I think so. Monty, we were going to do Marvel Rivals last night until you ditched out last second.
I'm really sorry.
Well, it's fine.
I had a great time with my niece. though.
That's fine. That's great.
Which is important.
The thing is that I didn't see your message, and so I had the game fired up, and I had like the description and everything for our stream, and then Matt and Richard got there, and I was like, okay, so where's Monty? Because we can't play this game without him, because none of us know what the fuck we're doing. And they're like, oh yeah, he's not coming. I was like, oh shit. Okay, zombies. We went on and played like an entirely different game last second, because we were like, we have to have one person who knows at least a little bit about what's supposed to be going on, and
Yeah.
that doesn't describe any of the three of us. So the point of that entire thing was that if we can make Marvel Rivals work this week, we'll probably do it at least once. And then some Battlefront through, and then I think didn't Star Wars Outlaws have a new update, but it probably wasn't a content update. It was probably just like,
Yeah, it's just 1.5. I don't know what they added.
also maybe at some point this week Indiana Jones. Maybe I'll do that with Chris when he gets here. I don't know if you guys know, but next month at some point they're putting out Star Wars Jedi Power Battles, the remake. In fact, I'm going to look up when that releases, because Chris and I will be playing that as well.
God, I remember that game.
Me too. You know that game is what started the mechanic of, if you wait until just before the blaster bolt hits you to block, you can deflect it back, like from Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. That came from Jedi Power Battles.
No, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, because
interesting.
all the older Jedi lightsaber games, like Jedi Knight, or like Jedi Academy, or Star Wars Episode 1, the game, all deflected blaster bolts automatically. So like, there was no like deflection mechanic; you just did it automatically. And then I think even the Force Unleashed, I think as long as you blocked, you like shot it back to them.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing this week. January 23rd.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's okay. So that's like the last part of January. But yeah, we'll be playing it when it comes out.
Cool. Well, everybody, welcome to, I believe it is session 22 of episode of Pirates of Drynax, Gungans and Dragons, Pirates of Drynax edition. When we last left off, our intrepid crew had landed at this new moon that they'd never been to. They had an encounter with several seemingly indigenous life forms. One of which was introduced to them as the last people, and the helpers, who have quite a draconic aspect to themselves. You at first led the scene and left one of the locals with a piece of technology to contact you when you were going to see them later. And astonishingly, you managed to get a transmission from them way before you were expecting it. And you had your ship hijacked by an AI and brought back to the village, where you met a member of the helpers who needed a little help themselves. And you agreed to...
Under the threat of death.
Under the threat of death, yes. You were coerced to... but, with the promise of reward in the form of your shipyard in orbit, to combat a rogue helper who has enlisted a bunch of the Imperium survivors who are planning an assault on the island that you spotted earlier. Before you departed for good, you guys all made camp here at this village. You have enlisted Dr. Jin to assist.
Who claims not to be a psionic.
Who's informed you that just because you're Zidani doesn't necessarily mean that you're psionic. It just basically means that there's a bigger chance of you being psionic, but he is able to test for psionic capabilities.
Yeah, Okluna, keep your prejudices to yourself.
I don't trust like that.
And Gani McCore got tested, who is not psionic.
And I'm the most powerful psionic ever.
No.
I'm like Palpatine levels of psionic. I don't know what you're talking about.
You also
Richie.
have an STD, but it's entirely unrelated to that.
Honestly, I'm fine with that.
And you've discovered that apparently
Vim
has minor
Yeah.
psionic capabilities, though, of course, no real training at this point. And that's taken him 12 hours, and then he has gone to bed, so it'll be the next morning before he can really assist you. But before we go any further, how about we all go around and mention who we are? And because I realize most of the time that I don't introduce myself, my name is Richard. I am the game master for this game. And let's take it from Monty.
I think what you meant to say was that you're the Gungan master.
Yeah, you're the Gungan master for this Gungan
game
that we're playing.
How about Yusa give your introduction?
All right. Misa Jar Jar Slems.
No, we don't need to keep doing that.
I thought you were Jar Jar Kings.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go. I am a Renaxian noble that has fallen out of favor, that is doing everything he can to get back to that comfortable life, and right now that means being a pirate and a spy master, which no one else in the team knows about.
All right, April.
I'm April. I play Andrew, and she's a former Marine and spacer from Drynax, who has taken up this cause to use this pirate vessel for for King and Planet. And she's really worried about she's more worried about those 12 people in battle dress than she is the dragon, to be honest.
All right. And Sean?
Yep, I play Gandhi McCore. I am the captain of the ship who tries to do right by his crew, but seemingly always fails at doing right by his crew.
He sure does, doesn't he?
Yep.
You're doing a great job, Captain.
I would say he's well-intentioned,
Yeah.
but inexperienced as an actual spacer captain.
But yeah, him and the Imperium had a bad breakup, so now he's trying to live his best life. As the captain of the ship by saying, "See, I don't need you, Imperium."
You're never ever getting back together.
Yep.
And maybe secretly at times wondering, wait, is this why you didn't make me a captain?
Right.
Am I bad at this? Is this why you wouldn't make me a captain?
Am I bad at
No, it's the Imperium who is mistaked.
They were bad at it.
All right, and Daniel?
Yeah, I play Okluna, who is just a small footnote. The only trained spy on the ship, and you might be thinking to yourself, if I were a captain and I had to pick a spy master, I would probably pick the only trained and qualified spy on the ship to do that job.
Well, here's something
No,
that
no, no, no,
occurred
no,
to
no,
me.
no, 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 no.
I just want a clarification before we start. Did Ukluna ever tell Gani McCore that he was a part of Imperium intelligence?
I probably did.
Doesn't sound like the memory of a spy to me.
The only part of my memory that's failing is whether or not he was taking such a gigantic shit that he doesn't remember the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, I don't remember it, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't said. I just might not have just. I should have wrote it down as a player. I just didn't.
Oh no. That's why I was asking for a clarification from Daniel now.
Yeah. It would probably be a lot easier. And what we should start doing is that at the beginning of every session, we should announce our characters' names and what we do.
If only we did
All right. Well, you are in the Last People's Village right now. I assume that you all went to sleep for a long, well, at least 6 hours to get some rest.
I was gonna stay up and talk to my people.
Well, you've had a long day as well. Do you want to kind of try to talk to people throughout the night and forego sleep?
Well, I mean, are we gonna have time in the morning to have conversations?
Well, I mean, the helper at this point hasn't, come back and said, "What the hell are you doing?"
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll sleep.
Okay. And all of you have chosen to sleep outside of the ship?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Sleeping
going
in
to.
the ship.
It's probably we should probably avoid the ship if at all possible, honestly.
So at least Slems is sleeping in the ship.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably sleep outside of the ship too.
You do have some kind of like emergency gear within the ship that you can basically pull out that has like tents and sleeping bags.
Gotcha.
I think I'm just sleeping with my host.
Yeah, so we were put up. A couple of us were put up for the night, essentially.
Okay. Also,
We're having like a little slumber party.
they will allow you into their huts, but when you get into their huts, you do notice a distinct lack of bed and bedding.
That we would definitely have to get a sleeping bag from the ship.
I'm gonna ask them. So how do you guys sleep?
Your host, kind of like looks around and Rav responds to you and says, sleep.
How do you like recharge? Do you you know what I mean? Like, how do you like rest or something?
Oh, we rest our minds several times a day.
But not your bodies.
Why would our bodies need that?
I rest my mind several times a day. I understand
Well,
that.
Because we're not in perfect control of our bodies like you are.
Yeah, something.
Oh, understood.
So we require long periods of unconsciousness in order to
Where we're highly vulnerable.
repair our minds and bodies, because we don't have complete control over our minds and over our bodies the way that you do.
When you say this about unconsciousness and everything, Andrew, if you could roll 2d6.
Uh-oh.
See. -2.
Oh, I should be in roll 20.
We're gonna horrify them with this whole
I
sleep
was about to
idea.
say, are we about to destroy all the diplomatic framework that I have laid down?
Hope not.
It turns out their society is violently offended by unconsciousness.
5.
It's hard to read the expression on their face, but they do seem to have an emotional reaction to you mentioning this unconsciousness.
Can I am I with them? Can I figure out what it is?
Sure. So for your character, that would be 2d6. You know what? I'd say body language probably would go under xenolinguistics. So let's do this as 2d6 plus 4.
16.
Oh yeah, these people are horrified to their core. You could tell from their expressions and how they're kind of moving after.
Like they're horrified for us, or they're horrified at us?
They seem horrified at the concept.
Oh, okay. So they're horrified for us.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I know this? Can
Yeah,
can I tell this?
I'll share that
Okay.
information.
Okay. Well, if you just whisper it to them, then everyone will kind of realize what they're kind of seeing from your hosts.
Yeah, they do not understand, and they're not comfortable with that concept.
So don't show them a bed. Gotcha.
Well, actually, we might not want to just sleep in front of them. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, we can go sleep in the woods then.
Well, they don't seem to hold it against you. If anything, with a 16, they seem more horrified / sorry for you.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just like everyone else in the universe. They're sorry for us.
Yes, little do they know everything that your Imperium has done.
I asked
Yeah,
them.
that's
Oops,
not
sorry.
even. Oh, 1, not my Imperium. Number 2, I'm not going to tell them.
# not my Imperium.
I'm gonna ask them. Be like, would you guys like to see what a bed looks like?
Well, it's
Are
just a
you
giant.
trying to
They have
seduce them?
cushions.
No, if they've never seen it before, I think it'd be kind of cool to introduce them.
Guy named Bakura is about to get his 4th. Can you please get out of my room?
Okay. So you'll get out one of your. You'll get out one of your sleeping bags. You'll unroll it, show it to them, and they'll kind of like politely watch and be like, oh yes, and you lie there for hours.
Yep. I snore.
And you have no stimulation during this time.
Well, not purposeful.
That's a whole nother bag of worms.
Actually, as
there
our
are bags of worms involved.
no, no bags of worms. As we recharge, our brains convert our short-term memories into long-term memories, and our brain repairs itself. And as it does that, we experience hallucinations called dreams, where we imagine ourselves in different fantastical scenarios that we can't tell aren't real.
That sounds terrifying.
It sometimes is. Sometimes it's actually the opposite of that.
That's called a nightmare.
Also, you can remember things as they did not happen?
Yeah, it's really weird. Like they'll kind of blend together.
Yeah, we can tell the difference between what is a dream, what happens when we sleep, and what is real, what actually happens when we're awake.
At this point, Leonard kind of interjects and says, yeah, also, we're very unreliable when it comes to experiencing things.
We're humans, we're unreliable.
Leonard said, Leonard says, if you have 5 people in the room and they all experience the same thing, you're going to have 5 different stories in an hour. The aliens, again, kind of look a bit horrified.
Yay, humans.
Yep. Although you don't have to sleep lying down, like you can just like rest, you know, you can just like read, like it's actually kind of relaxing, just not doing anything.
You're getting more polite nods at this point.
I think we've lost them.
Well, anyway, good night. I'm gonna lay down and sleep.
I'll tell them that they're welcome to study and observe me as I sleep as much as they want.
Oh, as he goes to sleep and you're kind of staying up at first, since Gani McCord went to sleep at first, the kind of like the little child / baby alien of the family keeps going over to Gani McCord and just like staring like unblinkingly at him, and then occasionally just poking his face.
He likes that, actually. You should keep doing that.
And you hear the little alien child say at times, Gani McCord, it's like, are you not experiencing this? Are you not experiencing this?
I was gonna start snoring.
This doesn't translate. What does this mean?
You're like Linda from Bob's Burgers. You fall asleep within 2 seconds, and you're just like out snoring.
Right, yeah.
All right, well, they will eventually give you all kind of privacy when they realize you're not really, you're truly not cognizant.
We weren't lying. We weren't full of shit.
Yes. And you'll wake up the next morning. Your doctor, Dr. Jin, looks a little bit tired, but he says, well, all right, if you want, I can still do more testing. As I kind of told you before I went to bed last night, young Mr. Vim there does have a tiny smattering of potential.
I'm going to give Vim a fist bump.
Vim misses your fist bump, and as you kind of look at him, you see lines around his eyes, and it looks like he hasn't slept a wink.
Okay, so this is a direct order. You are not right now. Don't just lay down right now and do it. But when it's convenient next, you need to get some sleep.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure. Yes. And he just seems quite distracted.
Can I ask him? Is something bothering him?
He pauses, and then says, and then kind of gestures to you to the side, and he says, "Sir, psionics are bad people, right?"
No. If you're a psionic, you're not automatically a bad person.
I mean,
Slem scoffs at this.
I mean, in my colony, that's kind of what people said.
Yeah, that's probably because they didn't know anyone. It's kind of like how I would say if our doctor was a psionic, he was a bad person. But if you end up being a psionic, that's fine. Yay, humans.
Is anyone else asking Dr. Jin for psionic testing?
Oh, I want to know. It may not be. I mean, it may not be pertinent to our adventure here, but I would like to know as soon as possible.
Well, actually, you conceivably asked because.
Well, right, because we want to know if we had any way to help with our dragon guy.
Yes, because conceivably, if you are revealed to be psionic and you are kind of awakened in that manner, you do get telepathy 0, which could provide you some protection.
Right. Yeah, even if that, now that I think about it, even if that weren't the case in our present situation, I'd want to know as soon as possible. Also, it's going to be my luck that I'm shit-talking psionics to this doctor and I end up being one.
So are you asking the doctor for him to test you next?
Yeah, do me next. And then treat my cancer while you're at it. My apparent cancer.
Well, he says he'll work on the psionics first. Let's see. Just check on that. Okay, so that's core.
While they're playing,
Yes.
I should probably start to discuss with the captain and with Veronica and Leonard what our plans going to be for dealing with these forces.
Oh, I have an idea about that too.
Well, unfortunately, you're busy.
Yeah.
I know
Alright.
that.
Oh,
What are
sorry.
your guys? Yeah, basically asking. I know Leonard has tactics, and I know that Veronica is the most experienced dealing with battle dress. What are our thoughts on how we deal with these forces that are amassing, based on what we've seen?
So this is going to take 6 hours for Daniel. So for Okluna, roll me 2d6. Ha! All right. I know what the result's going to be, but before what the result's going to be, yeah.
Am
everyone talking about
I the father?
tactics. You're something.
All but empty.
So does this wait, what?
So you're currently getting poked and prodded. You're having something pull over your head as he's conducting multiple scans of you. So in the meantime, Andrew, you've kind of brought together a little kind of like war cabinet here in the hut, right? Talking about strategy.
Maybe away somewhere. I don't know if it's doing it right in front of the peoples, but
Do you want to go off into the woods?
just kind of, I don't know, either by the, I don't know, just maybe not too far into the woods, but just kind of off by ourselves a little bit.
So the outskirts of the village.
Out of earshot.
Say back to the ship, but I don't think anybody wants to go back to the ship.
Well, also anything you say on the ship is going to be overheard by Big Brother Dragon.
Well, right now we're just discussing those things which relate to what he wants us to do.
Quick question for everyone participating in this little war council right now. Do you still have your personal computers on you?
Mine's turned off.
I don't have one.
I think mine got didn't mine get like repurposed?
Yes, yours got turned into an alien war machine.
And also, you're being tested right now, so you're not at the.
Yeah, can we have the war council in the same room? I'm being tested. I can just speak to you guys under my hood from under my hood.
Also, I'm still asleep, right?
No. You woke up. You woke up. It's the next day.
Oh, okay.
So you're part of this meeting. So did you pull the battery as well, or did you just turn it off?
I'll say if I didn't feel that turning it off was sufficient, that's just screw it. It's gone. I'm leaving it somewhere behind. Taking a rock to it, and I really like that.
And is everyone else who's participating in this meeting going to such lengths?
I don't have one, so yes.
I thought you did get one by now. You do have like a little.
No, I still haven't got one yet.
Okay.
I forgot to buy one at that place.
And Slems?
What about Slims? I'm sorry.
Well, Slims is invited.
Oh, you didn't invite Slem, so it's just
No,
going to be
Slims
you.
is invited. Slims is invited.
Okay, so Slems is invited. So you've been invited for this little impromptu war council that's on the outskirts of the village. Are you keeping your little personal computer, basically like your smartphone, on you?
Andrew would have told Slims that she had found that her phone had been corrupted and then smashed it against her.
Yes, Slims brought it along. because he probably wouldn't have remembered, and/or he's grown accustomed to it, and if he likes it, he's keeping it.
It's because he has TikTok on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So Slems comes along to the meeting. And here comes Gani McCor with no computer anyway. You're standing on the outskirts of the village. The last people seem to be noticing that you guys want some privacy, so they're just conducting their business. You see them fishing. You see other people just like gathering. Some are making clothes, seemingly kind of like weaving them from living vegetation, which appears to be interesting. No sign of any helper or any like shadows coming from above, though the giant gas giant kind of like in the horizon is always visible. And the floor is Andrew's, as Slim
I just saying we just kind of. So, assuming that we do have to take on these Imperiums, what are your guys' thoughts? Mainly looking to Leonard and Veronica.
Okay, so Leonard and Veronica will also attend.
I mean, there was the... Because, I mean, we are kind of being told not to power up our weapons near the island. So, I think a direct weapon strike might be a problem.
By the way, you had a choice to start a war council meeting, and you didn't start it with "the Emperor has made a critical error, and the time for our attack has come." I'm just putting that out there that you missed that opportunity.
Veronica says, well, I got some sensor data on the helper as it approached. Also, I've pulled, and I've always made it a policy when I've been on the ship to keep an air gap for my suit, any of the ship systems, so I don't believe I've been infiltrated by this AI. But I've also made the lengths to protect my suit and myself even further, so I think I should be secure right now. But yeah, I think given enough time and positioning, I could surprise whatever rogue helper is over there. And well, I think my best chance is taking it completely unawares with massive amounts of firepower.
More worried about, what about the helpers? What about, there's a large amount of forces in that village that we have to deal with. That's...
Leonard is kind of playing with a knife and just like throwing it up and down and just catching it perfectly. And he says, well, we do have the benefit of having a mostly human crew. And, well, from my experience, Imperium agents tend to be racist assholes. So they might just assume we're here to rescue them. Could we not try infiltration before we... And then he mimes with his knife across his own throat, the slitting the throat motion.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm just worried that their helper can read our minds. But just like this helper is not here right now, I do not know if their helper is always present.
It could be possible that the helper is not always present, says Leonard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to definitely anything that's going to give us a tactical advantage. I'm just bringing up the risk assessment of... I know that Akluna, who's still being tested by the doctor, did want to try to find out what's going on with the Imperium forces as well. So, I mean, infiltration is not off the table.
He also has plans to gather intelligence from the locals.
Leonard says, well, I haven't had all that much experience with the Zerdani myself, but from my understanding, their abilities are not endless.
This is true.
Reading minds probably takes time. So I would I would like to say an educated guess for, well, some of us skipped class. He kind of looks at Slems for a second and back to you. I don't think their stamina is forever, so I think if we appear to be genuinely a rescuing force for these people and part of their team, they might not bother to waste their efforts in trying to read our minds.
This is true.
And don't we also have the benefit that 2 members of our crew, and our captain, no less, are former Imperium pigs, officers?
Hey, you said it, not me. I just wanted to.
Right?
Is he talking about me?
Yes.
No, it was. Oh, well, 3 of them. Yes, you.
Someone
Yes,
wants the
formerly,
gulag.
former pigs. Former pigs.
To say I'm a pirate the same as you, asshole.
I
Because
apologized last time. I apologized last time I said that.
I'm also not really
Yeah.
there, so I have no idea that's happening.
I thought we were all in the room.
No, I'm getting
Everyone
my
is
butt
off the
probed to see if I'm a psychic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So so Gunny McCord, you are there. So you did hear the comment of, it's like, well, they could use your expertise for being an Imperium officer.
Yeah, I
Yes,
could
you
do it.
definitely you showing up with a force of mercenaries to try and find the missing station and reap a sizable reward.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. Also, if we're gonna, if we're gonna pretend to rescue them, why don't we just rescue them? I'm sure they probably want to be off this planet by now, right?
Well,
At this point, your friend in battle dress, she raises her hand and says, "Yeah, but didn't the big dragon tell us to, kill them all?"
well, we would definitely. I'm not saying that we will not kill them all, but I'm just saying we need intelligence on their capabilities and possibly the best opportunity. If we could steal a couple of those battle dress, that would really help turn the tide.
Veronica narrows her eyes and then points to Gandhi McCor again and says, "Yeah, but the captain just said, yeah, but why don't we actually rescue them? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here."
Look to the captain. Well, we don't want to rescue them because we want their space station, and as long as they're alive, they're not going to give it to us.
Well, they might if they're. We could be like we could add them to add them to our crew.
I don't think they're interested in slumming with us.
We just threatened to leave them here.
Especially when they outnumber us and outgun us.
But we just
If they didn't think.
We just hit with that cancer ray, though, right? The thing that irradiates everything.
Again, we cannot use our weapons in close proximity. We cannot use our ship weapons in close proximity of the tower out of fear of retribution from said tower.
Oh, right. And we can't use that nuke thing that you got either, right? I'm asking the battle dress lady.
Veronica?
Yeah.
Veronica says, I kind of want to keep the nuke, my own personal nuke, sir, in reserve for the helper.
That makes sense.
It's tactical in nature. I might be able to kill the majority of the inhabitants of that village, but anybody in battle dress might well be able to survive.
Well, then we should definitely save that for the helper then.
Yeah. What if we take the helper off world with us?
That is a terrible idea.
What if he wants to leave?
That's probably what he's trying to do, is gain enough power to leave.
Oh, well, I thought maybe if we help him leave, maybe he'll give us something,
And as you say that, you hear a hissing from above you, from a tree, and you look and see Engineer above you, Ganny McCor, and Engineer hisses, "No! cannot let the abomination away. And then he hisses one more time, and then he jumps to another tree.
What do you mean? What do you mean by abomination?
He's gone.
Yeah.
Talking about the dragon.
Hey, engineer, as your captain, I order you to come back here and tell me what you mean by abomination.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I'm over here.
Presumably, he's out of earshot.
Damn it. Well, you know what? He's getting demoted.
He doesn't like that thing, and he's probably a little bit psychic because they are a group people generally.
Oh, great.
So he probably feels much more he doesn't like I think the ancients these were ancients that were bad and they were left here for a reason. I think them leaving would be a terrible idea. And if you recall, right before we spoke with the helper the first time, he said we should not let the helpers leave here.
Gotcha. But yeah, I mean, I'd be up for doing some spying, and including your Imperial, right?
Sorry, I'm getting my butt probed to see if I'm a psychic.
Oh, okay. I'll go.
It's true. You
ask-
got to check from the bottom to figure out what's on top.
I'll go ask
And
you.
besides, your spy master is actually technically already at the meeting. It's
Well,
Slims.
Well, I
Where
know,
the
but
spy master
He's
should
not
be.
Imperial.
Right,
But
but
Slums is an
yeah.
Imperial.
Are you saying we found another way that Slums wasn't qualified to be spy master?
Actually, wait a minute. I'll be like, hey, Slums, how good are you faking being an Imperial?
How good are you at faking being a spy master?
Yes to both questions.
Oh, cool. So you know Imperial culture?
I know everything there is to know, Captain.
Oh, nice. Should we roll for that?
Actually, so as an Imperium citizen yourself and a Volani, you probably speak fluently at the very least Galactic, which is basically English, and you also know native Volani because you're a Volani. You could actually try to speak in Volani to him because that's kind of like what high Imperium speak to each other.
Me, I do, or he does? Sorry.
Your character would know that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So yeah, I'll speak High Volani to you.
Okay. Slems will roll for me 2d6 plus. Let's see.
Can High Volani sound Simish? Or can it
I
sound
don't
like?
speak Slimish.
I really thought that he was going to say High Valerian.
This is going to be for you 2d6 minus 4 for Slems.
Are we really taking the time out of the day to call Slums on this bullshit?
3.
I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to.
So basically, Slems replies to you in Pig Latin.
I'll be like, okay, could use a little bit of work there, but I mean,
Insightful.
But you know what? Why don't you know what? I'll be right back. Let me go talk to Akluna real quick. Hey,
Maybe it's for the best, Captain.
Okay, hey Akluna.
Did you walk over to the hut where I'm getting my butt probed to see if I'm a
Yeah,
psychic?
you're probably in the med bay.
Yeah. Well, so you can. So I'm going to reveal. So it's been 6 hours. You guys have had your meeting.
It's a long fucking meeting. It's the worst meeting imaginable. A 6-hour meeting.
So at the end of all of this, the doctor powers down his machinery. He's looking at the readings and everything and says, huh. Well, you do have a reading.
Is it in my butt?
Well, no, it's within your mind.
Oh, okay. Well, no, yeah, that tracks. Okay, go on.
So you do technically have some psionic ability.
Hooray! This, by the way, is not an apology for assuming you were a psionic.
Well, okay. Also, you are probably the weakest psionic person I have ever registered on the scale.
Oh. Well, Can't
so
can't say that about anyone else though, can you?
I suppose not. At this point, actually, honestly speaking, Vim has 4 times as much potential as you do.
Could have told you that before we had the test.
So officially now, Ukluna has a psionic score of 1.
Nice.
And can I improve that?
No.
Okay. Well, it's
You
better
can-
than
Not being a psionic.
everyone else, I guess, except for Vim.
you have telepathy 0.
Which, by the way, I'm fine with Vim having a higher psionic score.
Who would you not be fine with having a higher psionic score?
Slems, probably.
Yeah. So your DM for having a score of 1 is -4. So it's very difficult for you to use telepathy as well.
Okay.
You can only do
Not
it a little bit
impossible.
before you use up your power.
Yes. So the doctor explains that to you, that you can attempt to reach out with your telepathy and to use it, but because of how weak your abilities are, basically you'll burn through it in probably 10 to 30 seconds.
And there's
And then you
no
would
way to train
really-
it or like.
Oh, he says there are ways to hone what you have, but you can't really build upon it, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, how do I do the thing you just said?
Usually, well, if you were within the Zidani consulate, you would be training with, someone who is trained in telepathy. But considering we're outside the consulate, I don't believe you'll be able to find somebody to train you.
Oh, I'm sure we can find somebody.
But yes, and generally speaking, if we were within the consulate, you would then also be able to try your hand at different abilities like teleportation. Yeah, there are other abilities that you can utilize.
Okay.
So, well, that most would be able to utilize. I'm going to be dead honest with you right now. I believe the only thing that you'll probably be able to do is a little bit of telepathy.
All right. Well, it's more than I thought I could do yesterday, so.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, you kind of bump into Ukluna as he's leaving his session with Dr. Jin Cintrano.
I don't know why. I'm just imagining Arcluna just like thinking like, oh man, I could go for something refreshing right now. And, like his nose just starts bleeding, like from just so heavily
from the effort.
Yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, when I run into Arcluna, I'll be like, hey, you're Imperial, right?
Yes.
Like me. Cool. So here's
yeah,
an
I'm
idea.
I'm from the part of the Imperium that no one really knows exists.
Gotcha. So anyway, not April. Andrew had a really
Who the
good
fuck's
idea.
April, Captain?
I meant to say Andrew, but it came out April. I don't
Oh.
know why. Sorry. Anyway, Andrew had a really good idea of we should. I think it was Andrew, right?
Well, it was
this.
kind of Leonard, but I had floated the idea before too.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, Andrew and Leonard had two really good ideas, where like since these guys are Imperial in this in this fortress, we should go undercover, also as Imperials, which we are, and ascertain what they want, because maybe we could rescue them or something instead of killing them, or we just find out like maybe like we search for any weak points in their base, and then also we take Slums along too. So Slums could also pretend being Imperial.
Could he?
I have faith in him.
faith is not a reliable pathway to truth, Captain.
Well, right. I just meant like I believe in him.
So the first option is undercover. What's the
Yep.
second option?
Probably just storm it and hope we
Just
survive.
like full assault.
Probably, yeah.
Can
Can't use the ship though.
Can I share with you one of the things in the front of my mind about all of this?
Sure.
There's a population of natives here who are, I believe, who are entirely innocent in all of this, and I'm really interested to know how they play into this. And I also have a sense that the dynamic between the helpers is really strange. Like, I'm not sure what they are or how powerful they are, but if we're helping the wrong one, that could really bone everybody.
Oh, I gotcha.
So
we could try to.
I would suggest we need to find out which one is the wrong one to be helping.
No, that makes sense.
So, like, if, for example, let's say that the one that we're helping right now, the one that took over our ship right now, is the wrong one, and we go over and we kill their helper, and it helps him achieve a goal that allows him to gain some kind of power that will help him do something, then that's really bad.
Right.
It could be that the helper that he wants us to kill could have objectives that more closely align with ours, but we don't know because we haven't talked to them yet. I think we need more information.
Also, Richard, these people are blue, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, they're in the art that you shared.
Yeah, purplish blue, but yeah.
Okay, so hear me out. What if we send Slums, we paint him purplish blue, and we send him over to the other camp.
They're also like 3 feet tall.
And we cut off his kneecaps. We have the doctor searching over his kneecaps, and he blends in with these other native people.
Doesn't even speak their language.
Yeah,
I don't know, Captain. I really need my kneecaps.
Hey, you're not here right now. We're in the room where I got my butt probed to see if I was a psychic. You guys are all back at wherever the fuck you were.
Hey, how'd your psychic training go, by the way?
It went great. I'm a psychic.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
So couple of issues with that. First of all, I imagine that Slums probably enjoys his kneecaps. He also has literally no training in disguise or subterfuge, and he doesn't speak their language. So I would abandon that plan immediately if I were you.
Oh, okay.
I would, if you want my suggestion, I would start with where we are right now and let me talk to some of the natives, and someone else on our crew. I would like to have some questions for as well, and then after getting some intelligence, maybe we make a plan to send an envoy to talk to the other camp.
Yeah, it could work. Sure.
So you want me to start talking to some of the natives then?
Sure. And sounds like a good idea. Should we have someone else in on this too, or do you just want to do it by yourself?
That's up to you. I'm confident I can get some good information. Also, the next time you see Engineer, I would like to speak to them as well.
Okay. He hissed at me earlier.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Well, hey, congrats on being psychic.
Yeah. Yay.
Right? Anyway, I'll go. Do you want to go meet with the rest of the crew?
Wait. So, just reading into that, it is now Gani McCore a little bit suspicious of Ukluna?
I mean,
You are from the Imperium, so you probably have been raised to be very suspicious of anyone with psionic abilities.
I mean, you know, maybe. Sorry, this is. I mean, as a
little bit of
player,
skepticism doesn't hurt anybody.
I mean, I guess, but like, I want to be like that doesn't define Ghani. I don't know. I feel like maybe like one of the reasons he never really got promoted to captain was because he wasn't as like racist or ruthless as the other Imperials were.
And,
Maybe.
In his performance review, it's just written not racist enough.
yeah,
not as big as a piece of shit
Yeah.
as the rest of us.
isn't as right wing as we'd prefer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like to think Ghani McCord was like a lot more like, just a lot more.
Could
tolerant.
be more hateful.
Yeah,
They write too woke.
yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't know. I like to think like Ghani doesn't really like let that like factor into how like.
Hey, he's your character. You choose whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Though I did like from that response, I almost heard some like unconscious racism there. Of hey, good for you.
How do you think Akluna's dealing with it?
No, he was just saying, that's awesome. You're psychic.
So you're gonna have Dr. Jin ask if there's anyone else who wants to be tested. Both Veronica and Leonard both refuse.
I would also say to the captain that we don't have to. This is apparently expensive testing that we'd have to like spend money out of the ass for otherwise. So I would give a direct order to have everyone tested.
Okay, yeah, I can give a direct order for that.
I think you should respect their medical privacy.
Well, we don't have to know.
They said they're refusing to cooperate.
Well, yeah, that's politics. That's up to you. But we should test as many people as many people want to be tested.
Gotcha.
Because we don't have to pay for it. Whoever the mysterious guy paying our fucking doctor is paying for it.
Gotcha.
Yes, though I think he made that deal before he realized you guys would be doing this.
Well, sounds like a him problem and not a me problem.
Yeah, I'll talk to the doctor about it. I'll put like a notice board on like a notice thing.
Are you're gonna get tested, right? Or did you already?
No, I got tested already.
You're not.
I got jack shit.
So I guess Slims and Andrew are the ones that haven't been tested yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are Slimes and Andrew interested in getting tested?
Is it a direct order? I don't think there's any lower Slims can be moted.
It being telepathic would help you dramatically in your role as Spy Master.
Slims is gonna say that he wants to get tested, and then when he gets into the room with the doctor, he's gonna let his racisms and phobias kind of out because he's comfortable with the doctor, and kind of let him know if he could just lie about him getting tested.
And the doctor's also racist.
The doctor nods to Slimes when he comes into the room and says, "Of course, your medical privacy is your own." He actually brings out his own data pad and says, "I have a variety of movies that we could watch while we wait to pretend that the testing is happening."
Slims is gonna ask for a rom-com.
All right, you get a Zidani rom-com, which is all about a meet cute in which both of them read the minds of the wrong person that they were passing by in a spaceport.
I love
And
this.
that leads to a proposal that neither of them ever meant. But at the end of it, it actually turns out that they were really in love with each other, and those first thoughts didn't matter.
So this is the first time Slums has actually seen any positive media about the Zidani, and rethinks about possibly getting tested, but doesn't say it out loud and thanks the doctor and leaves.
Yeah,
Nope.
Gani probably. Oh, sorry.
I
Gani
love
prob-
that they like basically sit there and watch movies and eat popcorn and talk about their boyfriends.
Hot.
And so Andrew, I guess it's your turn.
If we're doing any more today, I guess
Yeah,
it's my.
this would probably be the last of the day.
But-
Also, I still am waiting to ask questions and gather intelligence. I'm putting that out there.
Yeah,
Well, you've
I
had
just want I
6
just
hours to
wanted to
do
make
so.
sure for the rolls.
But Gani probably won't order it. He'll just be like, if you want to get it done, get it done. If you don't, no worries.
I'll go. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
2d6 for Andrew.
Andrew, we need you to have a high enough psionic ability for you to train me and Vim. You really need to be like a savant.
Oh shit.
Okay. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this will happen to you right before you go to bed for the night, but Dr. Jin will finish the testing and say, well, out of all of the crew, you have the most ability that I've seen thus far. So Andrew now has a psionic score of 5. And telepathy 0. So you're literally 5 times as powerful as Ukluna.
Great. Now teach me. Take me as your Padawan.
I don't know anything more about telepathy than you do.
Yes.
Just do it. I
Yeah.
can just do it for longer.
We don't have to let that stop us. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you can't be raised to telepathy 0 by training with somebody who just has telepathy 0.
There has to be a psionic wiki somewhere.
Yes, there is. It's called Going to the Zidani Consulate. So unlike your -4, Andrew has a -1 for psionics.
Can we combine our powers? Like Captain Planet?
There actually are psionic abilities that do stuff like that, but you don't have enough points for it, basically.
Between the three of us? Between me and Vim and Andrew?
Not your character.
They can't be
but-
Devastator?
Also, you don't have enough training at this point.
All right, so we're
So the questioning that you're doing while Andrew is being trained, not trained, being tested. So you're going to your host, or who are you going to?
yeah, whoever I have the best relationship with.
Okay.
I don't know which one of them likes me the most.
Hard to tell. But the family that you have been staying with, Rav, Chav, and Sav, you see them.
And their
they
daughter Courtney.
They are outside of their hut. They wave at you as you approach, and they say, how is your day going?
Oh, it's one of those days. I learned something about myself I didn't know was there, but turns out it's actually not that big of a deal in the first place. How are you doing?
It is a fine day. We are together. The world is in the sky. And yes.
Did you watch us sleep? I hope you weren't too disturbed by that.
It is unfortunate that you have to go through that.
If it comforts you at all, it unnerves me quite a bit as well, and if I could avoid doing it, I would.
The youngest one says, "It's like you die each night."
We come extraordinarily close to death every time we sleep.
Yes, the cessation of consciousness seems very interesting. It makes, I mean, in all honesty, all of our lives are one continuous block of consciousness. So, really, to us, it seems like you literally do die every night. So, we are talking to someone new that we did not know yesterday.
What do you mean by your one continuous block of consciousness?
From birth until now.
So you all share consciousness?
No. Of our own personal lives.
I don't understand that as a concept.
I can recall every moment of my life since birth.
So you have an eidetic memory then? Like you have a perfect memory?
We just call them memories, but sure.
Okay. I'm very eager to learn more about your culture, and I was hoping you would indulge me for some questions.
What do you wish to know?
Your helper. First of all, does your helper have a name?
We just call it the helper.
And how did he come? How did he come to be your helper?
To my knowledge, it has always been here.
Like before you?
Yes, it's been here before me.
Has your particular helper always been with your tribe?
To the best of my knowledge. Though it does occasionally move elders to on their tribes for communication.
Would something really bad happen if your helper wasn't here? Like if you didn't have a helper, what would happen?
Rov's brow furrows. Well, they are here.
Humans have a concept called hypotheticals where we for a moment imagine another reality. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You are attempting to reshape the world, yet not actually shape it.
Temporarily.
I see. This could be one of the reasons why your memories are so faulty.
It's probably one of the many reasons.
But no, the helper is always here and will always listen to us. Whether it will always obey us is another story, as we've recently found.
Can we imagine just for a second that there was another tribe that didn't have a helper?
Why? Where did they go?
Let's say that he never arrived.
Did the helper get lost?
He might have. Let's say yes. He got lost.
Why didn't another helper find them?
Because they were too busy with their tribes.
That seems far-fetched.
That's fine. But still try to imagine it.
Understood.
Some things can seem to be far-fetched and still end up becoming true.
Rav nods slowly. Okay. And in this hypothetical, this tribe is cut off
Just from their helper.
from other tribes. They no longer have another helper to
take
send
them
their
to the other,
helper
yeah.
to another community.
So yeah, I guess they would be.
So I've answered your question.
Do you know when your people first met the helper?
I assume it was at some point when we were brought to this world.
It would have been some time ago, I assume.
Yes.
And you don't have any legends or stories from ancestors that you've had when you first met the helper?
The elder would likely have some sort of stories.
Who is you mean the person who shared the histories?
Yes.
Last night.
Exactly.
Would it be okay for me to talk to them at some point?
The helper last night took the elder to a council.
Okay. And so, because you depend on the helpers so completely, it's safe to assume that all tribes on your planet have helpers. Each one has one helper.
I would assume.
Okay.
I have never been to another tribe.
How far away from home have you traveled?
He gestures around the village and at the small lake.
So you've never seen more of your planet than just this immediate area?
Why would I want to?
Curiosity. Maybe you're curious about what else is there. Last night you seemed curious about other stars in the galaxy and the universe.
It's not something I ever contemplated before we spoke about it last night. I wasn't even aware before last night that there were other stars.
Are there any places that you know about that the helpers avoid?
His eyes widen. No. Why would they avoid any place?
Fear.
What would they have to fear?
I mean, any number of things. I mean, humans fear a lot of things that can hurt us. Things that put into motion events that we can't control.
His eyes widen again. What do your people fear?
Humans, we fear quite a bit. We fear a lot of things.
Such as?
We fear our deaths. We fear pain. Some of us fear being alone. A lot of us fear being forgotten.
Well, as long as you have your elders, you would never be forgotten.
I mean, right, but all the other things, like there are lots of things that we fear. Is the answer.
Why would you fear your own death? It is a natural part of your life.
It's also the end of our consciousness. We get one attempt at life, and when it's over, it's over. That notion is terrifying to some people.
Well, when it's over, you are reborn in the other place.
What now?
As the elders say, when our lives end, we are reborn in another place.
I want to make sure I get the translation right here. Is that other place like proper noun, or just you were born in another place, somewhere else?
Well, obviously, I haven't been there yet, so I wouldn't know where it is.
And you retain your consciousness and your memories from before you die?
According to the elders.
Okay. Has the helper shared with you any? Your helper seems very concerned. We were just talking earlier about what your helper would be afraid of, and your helper appears to be afraid of another tribe, and their helper.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I was wondering if you would know why.
No clue.
So you don't know anything about other human visitors on the planet?
We have heard tales of visitors occurring in the past.
We've had people that have been killed trying to hurt you or whatever.
In all cases of stories I've heard, those visitors have been dispatched, and were no longer a threat.
Hold on, I'm looking at my questions here real quick. And we're the first humans you've ever met, right?
Yes.
Do you know anything about the technology that the helper was able to take over our vessel? Was able to take complete control over it using a special kind of technology. Do you know anything about that?
He took the device that you gave me.
But
I have to admit, it did slightly annoy me at the time, which is why I replicated its function. And he waves his arm at you.
Wait, what?
He made himself a communicator in his body.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, I think those are the. I have a lot of other questions, but I think that I'm getting the feeling that their knowledge is pretty limited when it comes to some of these. So those are all the questions I have.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh no, the elder's not here yet. Right.
So he turns to you and he says, "I have a question for you."
Sure.
Why have you come here?
We were sent here before we knew that there was a planet and that there were people that lived here, because one of our vessels in the process of traveling got lost, and we are here to recover that vessel.
But that vessel is not here.
Yeah, it is. It's actually in it's in an orbit around your planet.
Then why are you not in orbit?
Well, we wanted to meet you. Well, once we got closer to your planet, it became clear that that other living things lived here that were sentient, and we wanted to meet you because we're curious. Humans are very curious beings, and we are also concerned about the defenses that you have set up on the planet. We didn't we didn't want to damage our ship.
Interesting. So you fear death, you fear unknowns, yet you are still feel the need to go into the unknown. Am I correct?
Welcome to humanity, kid.
Yeah, I was about to say, the human condition is nothing if it is nothing if not entirely contradictory.
It does seem very contradictory.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be happier with your family at home?
I don't have a family.
Your boyfriend, light years away, winces.
I don't have a boyfriend light years away, do I?
Yes, you do.
No,
Yep,
that's
from your character background.
that's Slems, I thought.
No, you had a colonel that got like beat up. Like you got beat up like viciously twice, and then he got roughed up once really badly, and got kicked out of the military because of it.
Well, no one tell my boyfriend, because I've been playing this entire series as a bachelor. I entirely forgot about that. Well, I guess the answer to that question, well, no, I wouldn't rather be at home. I'd rather be doing what I'm doing. There is a very powerful intrinsic reward for people like me for discovering and exploring things and learning things.
For us, I suppose, all our knowledge is really housed within the elders, so it's not really as important to us.
So whenever you have a question, you just go and ask your elders, and they tell you.
Yes.
How do you and you? I assume you will get old one day, and you will become an elder.
Not necessarily. I would have to be chosen.
And then whoever is chosen, the elder shares all of the information they have.
Whoever is chosen would be remade.
Remade how?
Reformed to be an elder.
What would happen to the other elder? They just disappear?
No, the elder would either move to another village, or the elder is being replaced because the elder has reached an age of death. But the knowledge of the elder would be retained by the new elder.
Where does that happen? Where is an elder reformed?
It hasn't happened within my lifetime, but we would probably do it in the village. Together as one, as a community.
Huh. Okay.
Acknowledge that person and their achievements in their life, and we would then reform them.
And then they would just have the information.
Then they would be the elder.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, that's
I would no longer be me if I was the elder.
You have a very my friend, you have a very literalist view of the laws of logic, and there are parts of that I really appreciate. Specifically the law of identity.
Well, if that is all, I, with my family, will be partaking in a meal. Do you need anything else?
I do. I'm going to go speak with my crew.
Oh, I do apologize for the loss of your gift that you gave me.
Oh, my computer?
Yes.
Oh, that's fine. It was beyond your control.
Well,
it's one of those things maybe you should have feared.
Why would I fear it? It was just an object that was taken that I was able to replicate within my own body.
Yeah, one day we're going to talk about that too. We just don't have the time.
Yes, the technology, the technique within it was quite simple once I understood.
The helper took that somewhere, right? The
Presumably.
Computer. Do you know where he took it? Like, where does he live? Where does he hang out?
You're just getting slow blinking here. It lives somewhere?
well, just like you, it exists, right?
It
So,
is honestly something something I've never contemplated.
like, he doesn't cease existing when he's not here, correct?
Yes, but I cease. Generally, I cease caring.
Dude.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's all the questions I have. Is there
All right.
is there a way I can track down engineer? Like, can I like do a whistle or something?
So you find engineer kind of camped out underneath the ship. He's made a sort of like little cocoon for himself by one of the landing feet.
Okay. So I'm gonna go and grab Gani McClure and tell him that I'm gonna go speak to the to engineer and ask if you would want to come with.
Sure.
And actually, also Andrew and Slems and Vim if you want to come along too.
Andrew's in with the doctor.
Join.
Okay, so you three are there with so engineer kind of pops his head out of the cocoon.
No, and just closes it.
You're almost getting that vibe, but he just
Get
kind
off-
of looks out
get off my lawn.
at you three and says, "Yes. Are we leaving?"
We're here to talk to you because you seem a little freaked out, and it's freaking us out. So let's take a couple minutes and talk.
It feels wrong. This place feels wrong.
There's
That
no part.
creature
There's no part of
feels
me that
wrong.
disagrees with you there. It does feel very very weird being here. Is there like anything specific that feels wrong, or like can you tell me?
It feels like drone, but wrong. Very wrong.
What do you mean by drone? Or is this something I should know?
So engineer himself is a drone. That's what their race is known as.
Oh, does your species not do well with other, like, I guess telepathically linked species?
It feels like drone, but wrong. I do not like.
Okay. I feel like that's a lot more shallow mystery than I expected it to be. That actually kind of makes sense.
Are we going to kill it?
Well, we're probably going to kill something.
We should kill them all.
That's
He says that he says
extreme.
that with complete conviction in his voice.
We should kill all the dragons, you mean, right?
Yes, all the things that are wrong.
Well, that's very to the point. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions for him?
I'm gonna ask him. What did you mean earlier? You said he was an abomination. What did you mean by that?
It is an abomination.
Right, but how is
You
it
let it to our ship. It took our ship. It infected our ship.
I think he's freaked out that we're around another species that communicates and kind of processes like his does or theirs does.
Gotcha.
I think he can. I bet that they can probably, like, kind of sense the dragons in a similar way they can sense each other. Am I right,
Gotcha.
engineer? Like, it feels like it's one of you, but you know that it isn't.
It is terrible. It is wrong. do not trust it.
Okay, we don't trust it, but that's a yes to my question.
I would not know. I am not opening my mind to it.
Oh, that's probably a good idea anyway.
Ask, are you two related at all?
Oh my God, Connie McCoy, you can't just ask people
Engineer hisses at you and then closes the cocoon.
that. A little bit of casual space racism.
Look, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. It's just like, I mean, were you taken from this planet when you were young?
Well, we haven't seen any more of it. We haven't seen any other engineered species here. We've only run into the purple people and the dragons.
No,
Unless engineers are about to turn into a dragon at some point.
You hear drone groan from inside the cocoon. That is incredibly ignorant. Drone are found throughout the Imperium and beyond.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I didn't, I just,
Yeah,
I was just asking.
I think we should just let him cool down. I think he's a little pissy with us now.
Okay. Does out of character, does one of these dragons look like an adult engineer?
I don't think so.
They have similar features, but
They have some similar features. Engineer has wings as well. Engineer has compound eyes, much like this dragon. So they do have some similar features.
Ooh, what if actually we did have helpers, but we killed our helpers, and engineer are like the remnants of them?
I don't know. There's something weird in general.
Both of you two went to university. So Ukluna, you can roll for me 2d6 plus, let's see,
12.
2, and Gani Makor can do 2d6 plus 1.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Shit, I closed roll 20. Whoops.
Whatever day this was, whatever we're about to discuss was discussed. I was hungover and in my room, I think.
apparently.
I'm sorry, what am I rolling?
Nothing.
Okay, so for slams, you didn't go to university, but who knows? You might have picked up something. This will be for slams a bit of a harder roll. Just 2d6, so no plus for you.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
7.
Fuck you guys.
So the only one that can kind of recall something about this is Gani Makor. You kind of recall back when you were in university, there's been talk, so there are 4 what they like to call, technically 5 major species within the Milky Way galaxy that are known. Other races are called minor species because they discovered faster than light travel by being given it or by, getting it from other people. But generally speaking, it's humans, Voggers, Aslan, Hivers, and the drone. And it has been theorized that the drone were a servitor species to the ancients, much like the Vogger and humans, and were spread around by the ancients, much like Vogger and the humans, and then kind of rediscovered or discovered on their own the secrets of faster than light travel later on.
So are you saying that there is
and in some of the lectures that you attended, there have even been theories that were thrown around that ancients actually were in fact drone, or a different type of drone that died out.
Interesting.
Ah, shit.
I'll kind of explain that to them.
so there might actually be an evolutionary link, is what you're saying.
It's a theory.
That's just
I mean,
a theory.
Is it a well-supported theory? Like, does it have
You're
data?
asking Johnny McCore, who's just kind of remembering a lecture back from when he was in university.
I'm gonna grab you by the lapels and scream at you. Tell me what the data was.
I mean, like it could be, could be a thing.
Well, how academic of you.
It's just like it's a theory.
I mean, to be fair, he hasn't been in university in like 80 years.
In your entire life, in my entire life.
It's been 86 years.
Been 86 years.
Okay, so I spoke to our hosts and got a better feel for their culture and kind of what they're doing here. They are extraordinarily cordoned off from everything, and everything that they do depends on their helper, the dragon. And the problem is compounded by the fact that they don't seem to handle abstractions very well. They're really very literal about everything, and they have a problem imagining hypotheticals. They have a problem really imagining anything, and their entire livelihood depends on this dragon that they have. There are other questions I would have liked to ask about the origins of their helper, but their elder, who is the person that would know the answer to those questions, conveniently was taken to another village by the helper. And I'm wondering maybe if this was on purpose. I'm not able to identify any weaknesses so far that I know about, or any actionable intelligence that could help us kill one of them, or to figure out what like the political dynamic is or what's going on. So I think the next step is we need to talk to the other camp. And that's going to be dangerous in general. I have no idea how they're going to react to us just like showing up. And like, do we explain to them what we've been tasked to do immediately? Like, do we try to talk to the humans that are there? What I will say is, though, the one thing I would suggest is that we take the ship and land it like a couple of kilometers away from the camp, and then hike the rest of the way. That way, and leave all of our communication devices on the ship. That way, there aren't any eavesdropping dragons.
Right. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, at this point, you're getting to the end of another night. Andrew is released from the testing.
How'd you do, Andrew?
Not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? He didn't tell you?
Well, he said I might have some ability, yes.
Oh. Well, good job. Me too, but apparently it's like bottom of the barrel, like Timu grade psionics. In fact, I think I'm where psionics is concerned, I'm pretty sure that I'm Vim's subordinate.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's enough to protect your mind.
I think I might, if that's just based on my psionics ability, I might be better off trying to just beat it to death with my my robotic arm.
Slems, are you still wearing like that outfit with the cape and everything?
Absolutely. Why would I take it off?
You are approached by a child outside the ship.
I try not to
And
notice.
they are dressed in, it looks like, an almost identical matching cape and hat to yours.
That's actually kind of adorable.
Okay, I kind of notice.
They go up to you and they say in perfect Galactic, I made this after watching you.
I look at her, at them, and I go, that looks very nice. And I pat them on the head.
Dude, they understand
On,
English.
on the hat or on the head?
On the hat head.
Yes.
The hat feels incredibly warm to the touch, and as you kind of touch it, it actually moves a little bit.
I kind of recoil in disgust. I don't hide it on my face very well.
The little one looks up at you and smiles and says, I grew it this morning.
I bet you did.
Kids, have you been practicing how to sleep like Slims? Can you show me how Slims sleeps?
Would you like me to grow you a pair?
Slums misunderstands. And
Wait,
gets offended.
hold on. A pair of what?
It's pointing to the hat and then the cape.
No, thank you. Ew.
The child looks a little crestfallen. It only requires around 10 calories a day to maintain.
You can
I
do
would
you
love
can you
one.
can do 10 calories, Slims, easy.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Very nice, kid. I physically turn them around and shove them. Go find your parents.
Wait, hold up. Guys will say, I would love one of these. This looks awesome.
They look at your outfit and it's like, you have quite a long clothes right there. Very long.
Yeah, but I'd love something
Very hairy. How did you grow so much hair inside of you?
Oh, well, I didn't. This is from something else.
What do you mean?
Well,
You shaped it from something else?
Well, I didn't. Someone else did who is skilled in that sort of thing.
Oh no.
They grew it from something else?
Yeah,
Slims,
kinda.
just say, or Captain, just say yes. We don't need to scare these kids about the fur trade.
Yeah, but I'd love something like this, like something that you made though, just because, I'd love to add it to my outfit. I think it'd be cool, something to kind of remember this place by.
I can shape another one for you. Or would you like me to try to shape it from you?
Why not a little column A, little column B?
The child pauses for a second and says, Well, the elders say we should not shape people, but you're not a people, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Love that legend.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Sure. Do you need like some of my hair or something? How does this work?
The child extends their hand. Here, if you want me to shape you, I can.
Oh, okay. Am I gonna die, Richard? Or am I gonna be like just really strong or something?
Well, this is a literal child, who doesn't know about the human body. Hold on just a second.
Oh wow! If I become like
What a loser.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank God. As like the child reaches over and you reach over your hand to the child, one of the last people, a bigger one, runs up and says, "Stop! What are you doing?"
What? She was gonna create clothing for me.
The adult looks at the child and says, "Were you about to shape this one?" The child looks down at the ground and says, "Well, he gave me permission."
There you go.
It is his fault.
The adult turns over to you. Ganimakor kind of bows their head and says, "Apologies. This one is still a child and may not have told you the risks."
Oh, I mean, does it cause death, or like does it cause like permanent like ceaselessness?
Well, I, for one, have honestly never worked with one of your species and do not entirely know how your body works. But the child was asking for permission to shape you.
Like, right? What is that? I guess in context, does that mean like into like a piece of clothing, or how would that work?
The child would have likely altered you.
Oh,
Permanently.
for good or for ill?
As a child.
I mean, again, I've never worked with a member of your species.
Question.
So I do not know the results that would have occurred.
Question: If we were to teach you about my species, could you shape us for the better?
Shaping has inherent risks. One might shape themselves, as now has become somewhat of a custom to us. Just last night, we were exchanging the new shape that you extended to our people that allows us to communicate from long distances.
Mm.
But you would likely not remain as you are now.
Oh. Who is someone on this? Wait a minute. What if we capture one of the people and we have them get shaped?
Why?
The adult looks at you and their mouth just opens and closes a few times. Are you suggesting to shape someone against it? They stop for a second. Against it? Are you suggesting violence?
What? No.
You're shaping?
No. It'd be totally
Uh-oh.
consensual. In fact, you know what? Shape me. Why don't you do that? I feel like I'm doing this.
The adult at this point grabs the child's hand and marches away from you.
Oh man.
You are ever the diplomat, Captain.
Right. I feel like I handled that poorly, but I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Like it was good. I'll be like, it was good meeting you. Sorry if I offended you at all.
They're already staring at you through their blinds.
I'll be like, hey, Okluna, can you smooth this over later?
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, we're probably going to be going and investigating that other place.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I figure in our last 5 minutes we should probably. What's the plan? Like I said, I suggest we fly over and hike the rest of the way. And if it's possible, we might want to talk to the humans first. I mean, we can what?
We can get within radio range and attempt to contact them.
Wouldn't we have to do that on the ship?
Well,
because we can't do anything other than stage our attack with the ship.
we could do it if we had a communicator, but we would have to do it at communicator range. Mine is broken.
Well, isn't the whole reason yours is broken is because you didn't want to get eavesdropped on by a helper?
This is true.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to do this like old school analog.
Veronica's systems are air gapped. She could do it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Veronica will
Veronica...
say, well, can't the locals possibly contact them since they've been growing frickin' radios in their arms?
But we need to be the ones to contact them without knowledge that we have been in contact with other aliens.
Well, they already think the captain's a pervert. How about we try to make them grow one of the
What I
one of
am?
those things in his arm?
What? I'm not one of those.
No, you would grow a radio into your arm. They already think you're a pervert.
What?
That sounds dangerous.
I think it sounds cool.
I'm not sure about involving the locals here. I
Yeah,
don't.
we don't.
I don't know what the helper is gonna do. Honestly,
Can we shape an elder? I mean, can we shape a helper?
I don't think we can shape anything. I think
What
we're
if they
just
could
humans.
Teach us.
I don't think that's a thing that we like.
Oh.
That we, like I don't know. Vim probably can now. He's a psionic. He can probably do something.
I love how Gani McCord continually puts his foot in his mouth, even though he doesn't mean to. He's just trying to be like.
Just say
He's just,
say the wrong thing.
well, he's just
Well,
trying to like.
I just wanted the child to touch me and change me forever.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
he
you
was
said
he was
that.
just trying to be nice and just like observe their culture, and like he completely fucked it up.
So back to the plan. I stick by my suggestion that we fly within hiking range and then walk. Try to contact the humans first, or at least try to talk to them first if it's possible. Just because we're gonna have an easier time communicating with them. The locals are difficult to get information from because they do not have the same understanding of certain concepts that we do. Like their whole thing earlier about the like violence, to me it seems it is inconceivable to them.
Well, we certainly conceived some of those other ones with weapons when the helper was showing us, if what he was showing us was true.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the other thing too, is that like I would very much like to know what happened over there that changed that changed them so fundamentally.
Well, that's why we have to get in touch with. We have to. Like I said, Veronica could try to contact them.
I think that's a good idea. And if not, I could probably sneak in and try to join the human group over there. Maybe I'll take Vim with me.
All right. At this point, you hear from the ship a kind of ominous booming noise, and then a crackle from the speaker from the bottom of your ship, and you hear the familiar voice of the helper.
Oh god, engineer's gonna freak out. Isn't he camped out right underneath the ship?
Yes.
Oh no.
And then you there's some stirring from that little cocoon, and
he
you
just
hear
runs
a
into the
voice
woods
boom out
screaming.
and it says results are expected.
Working on it.
If the threat is not extinguished within the next 5 days, you shall be extinguished.
Oh, that's plenty of time.
The voice ceases, and the village merrily continues to go along its day-to-day tasks, unhindered by the threat to your persons. Okay, sure.
Before it ceases, can I ask you the question?
Oh no! It doesn't seem to be inclined to.
It's a one-way communication.
Oh, okay.
It's an ultimatum in every sense of the word.
Dragon has left
this
the
is
chat.
a little ultimatum that's being issued from like a stadium like sound speaker. Like it wasn't set up for two-way communication.
Well, the good news is that 5 days is a lot of time, so that should be pretty easy. Also, I just saw the message you put in the chat about the shield.
Apologist one? Oh.
No, the shield thing. So if we're psionic, we automatically have a shield, a telepathic shield.
Nice.
Assuming that is what Richard is allowing us to do.
Well, that's what it says. Is what the words say.
Yeah, but we're kind of coming into this with, I don't know how much which is a question that I need to discuss with Richard during the week. How much of this do I know that I can do?
Yeah, you guys are starting pretty much from square one. So you can attempt to use telepathic powers. You're not going to be very good at them.
But the shield is
And
like passive, though, right?
The shield is passive, but if you use your psionic points and you're brought down to 0, the shield goes down.
Oh, okay. So it is very important, at least for my character, to never try to use it.
Well, I'm just saying you have that. You do have that. You can use your Psi 1 to passively block your mind.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
So there might come
That's
a
great.
time where something attempts to psionically affect you, and you can attempt to use that point to defend yourself or not. There are other ways of psionically being attacked other than just telepathically.
Okay.
All right. So I hope you all enjoyed tonight. We set up some groundwork for the next session.
Were you expecting us to go to war immediately?
You know what? I thought it was a 50-50 shot, to be honest, with this group.
I'm glad that we approached it with a more even, steady hand.
Oh, hey Richard, these people are in like a fort, right? Like a castle.
Yes.
The other people, yes.
Could I talk to like when engineers and I guess and like when when he's kind of like like I don't know when like he's less like
Pissed at you?
Pissy?
yeah when he's less mad at me like
You should make him a handmade card that says sorry about the racism.
right? Yeah, I guess I'll do that. But when he's less mad at me, I want to talk to him and the other like engineers in the thing.
Though, to be honest, I do honestly love your character's reaction. Hey, you're an alien. You might be from here.
Well, no, it's just because
you're not human. You probably know each other.
Well, no, because he called him an abomination, and so I just felt like there was a connection there. Like,
yeah, I don't think we can talk to the hivers on the space station from where we are. By the way, to answer your question, because that was the thing I was gonna. I think we were toying with the last time.
When you are closer to this other like base, you would actually,
would we be in better range?
You would, because you'd have direct line of sight. Right now, they're actually over the horizon to you. They're in geosynchronous orbit.
I've written that down. We'll do it next time.
Yeah, they're above the place we're going, which was the entire point to begin with.
But the reason I'm wondering though is like how during medieval sieges they get sappers to like go underneath the walls and like get them to collapse that way. I was wondering if like I could talk to like engineer and the other like other engineers and be like, hey, you want to sap this wall, like collapse it?
I don't think we have any of those kind of engineers.
Oh.
But I could be wrong.
Also, one of the concerns that the other helper had was that they were making boats to go across the lake.
Oh,
yeah, they're going to go into the ancient temple, which we don't want them to do, apparently.
Well, that's what the helper doesn't want them to do.
Correct.
I don't think, at least right now, I don't think we should have a stance on that until we figure out more about it.
I have a stance. It's called whatever we need to do to get out of here.
Right.
So that's my stance.
All right.
If we can take the station with us at this point, that's gravy, but...
Well, we still might. It still very well could be that we get there, the entire thing is too complex for us to really care about, and we just fly off with the space station. We'll tractor beam the shit out of it.
And remember, you guys got a free AI as well.
Yeah, that's going to totally kill us if we don't do it at once. There's that.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
So even if we're in the wrong, we may not have a choice.
Well, I'm sure that the other helper, like, if we find out that we're not working for the good one, like, I'm sure the other guy could fix it.
I'm pretty sure there are no good ones, but we'll see.
All right, that is the end, though. We'll be back next Saturday, 7 o'clock Central, or not Saturday, Sunday, for the next Gungans and Dragons. I think the next week's going to be episode 23. So go and watch Skeleton Crew on Tuesday night. Join us Wednesday for the Jedi Enclave presents the Now This Is Podcasting podcast and assorted gaming streams throughout